This is part 2 of Math Basics series. In the previous video, I have explained you about number system. In this video, I will explain you about geometry. Now, let's see. What is geometry? So, geometry is the branch of mathematics that deals with lines, shapes, and space. Space is our world, 3D world. Now, there are some key concepts of geometry like line segment. We all know, we have studied all these key concepts in our school. So first is line segment, a part of line that has two endpoints. Like I have make a line like suppose this is a line. So this is point 1 and this is point 2. This is simple. It is having some length. It is having some length. It is known as line segment. A line that has no ends and continues forever in both directions. Here both direction means uh, left side and right side, up or down. These are both directions. Now a line that has only one endpoint. So ray is only having one endpoint like C. This is ray. So it is having only one point, one endpoint. We can call it as simple like 1. We can call it as this is 1 and it goes forever. Okay. Now point. A dot is made to represent a point. This is point. Like if we say this is A, some suppose this is A, yeah, this is A. Now suppose this is A, so A is a point. Okay, parallel lines will never intersect. I have written also lines which never intersect with each other are called parallel lines. They will never intersect. Like these are two pens, like these are two pens, so they will only move straight. They will never intersect like this. This is known as intersection. This is known as intersect. Now they will never intersect. They will only move like this forever. Now other thing is next is angle. So angle is having two rays and have the same endpoint. Like I make an angle. So okay, sorry for my wrong angle. Okay, now suppose this is an angle. This is an acute angle, and so it is having two rays we can see and same endpoint. It is having same endpoint. Like see, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So A is the same endpoint of B and C. So let's move towards. Now we will talk about vertex. So vertex, the point of intersection of rays or lines that form an angle. A point of intersection of rays or lines that form an angle. Simple, eh? Okay. Then we talk about right angle, 90-degree angle. Simply 90-degree angle. Like I show you the angle. This is not correct, but still you can see. This is the right angle. This is the right angle. Oh, sorry. This is the right angle. And now perpendicular bisector, a line which divides the other line into two equal halves. So basically, I think so you have studied like bisector. Bisector. First of all, oh sorry. First of all, we should understand that what are perpendicular lines. Two lines that form a right angle. Like I make a line here and from here. See, okay. These are two lines. Now, perpendicular line means two lines. These are two lines that form a right angle. So these two lines are forming a right angle. So this is known as perpendicular lines. Okay, this is known as perpendicular lines. Now, a line which divides the other line into two equal halves. Suppose this line, simple, this horizontal line is about 8, suppose this is 8 centimeter long. Okay, this is 8 centimeter long. Now, this is one line which is intersecting it, which is dividing it into two equal halves. Suppose it is dividing it into 4, simple. This is 4. This line divides this 8 centimeter long line into two equal halves. So this is known as perpendicular bisector. Now why perpendicular? Why not bisector only? Because it is also forming 90-degree angle. It is also forming 90-degree angle. That's why we call it perpendicular bisector. If the line is not making perpendicular, so it is known as only bisector. Okay. I should erase this. Now next is uh, next is Congruent lines, angles and shapes which are of equal measure and size. Simple. Lines which are of equal measure and size. Angles which are of equal measure and size. Shapes which are of equal measure and size. Simple. Now we should understand about geometric shapes. So basically there are two types of geometric shapes. Like we deal geometric shapes in two types. First is plane shapes and second is solid shapes, solid geometry. Okay, so for here I have discussed about plane shapes. So these shapes deals with flat surfaces. Okay, flat shapes. Flat shapes are two-dimensional shapes or 2D. So why two-dimensional? A polygon is a closed plane figure which have two measurements, length and width or breadth. So why we call two-dimensional as a plane shape? Because they have only two measurements. First is length and second is width or breadth. Now polygons are made up of line segments, so-called edges. Like so there are two types of plane shapes, polygons and non-polygons. So I have written circle, rectangle, triangle is a polygon because polygons are made up of line segments. Thus it is not a line segment, but it is having length and width. How? Width is diameter and length is the circumference of that. Okay, simple. Now polygons are made up of polygons are made up of line segments. So this is line segment, this is line segment, this is line segment. We also include circle as a polygon because it is a plane shape na, so we can call it as polygon. Now triangle is having three sides, three line segments, and these are the edges. These are vertex, but these are edges. So edges, so called line segments. Same here, and this is a crescent moon which is not a polygon. This is we know all. This is a heart and this is non-polygon. This is the quadrant of a circle. Thus it is having two line segments, but from here it is curved, so it is a non-polygon. Here I have given that circle is a polygon, but we don't count circle as a polygon. We should count circle as a plane shape. So don't misunderstand that I have made an arrow on polygons. So polygons are these only two which are made up of line segments. Circle is a plane shape because it is having two. It is having curve, so it is not a polygon. It is a plane shape. Okay, clear. I have done wrong here, so correct it. Now in next slide, I have tell you about three-dimensional shape. In the previous slide, I have told you about two-dimensional shape. In here, I will tell you about three-dimensional shape. So three-dimensional shapes are called solid shapes. They have three measurements: length, breadth, and height. They are made up of polygons. So basically, polygons are made up of line segments, and these 3D shapes are made up of polygons. Now they have length, breadth, and height. They also have volume as they have height. So any 3D object is having volume because it is having height. We also live in 3D world. We all know that we also live in 3D world. Now solid shapes are classified as polyhedron. They are also classified as non-polyhedron, but we talk about polyhedron only. So this is square, and this is octahedron. This is the octahedron. This is the cuboid. Now, a polyhedron is a 3D figure which is made up of polygons. Poly means many and hedron means base. Base is simply a polygon or a shape. The plural of polyhedron is polyhedra. So, I think you are clear with your basics of geometry. For in next video, I will explain you about Aryabhat. Till then, bye bye.
Okay.